As far as your next studio release, I know that you guys hadn't decided on a producer or anything like that. Is there any progress on that front? Do you guys know who's going to be doing it?
Well, we got a lot of interest from a lot of different people that we didn't think would really be interested in producing a record by us. But, you know, every time we go to do a new record, there's always this, like, want for people, you know, for producers especially, and for labels that want to work with us, to have us kind of step out of the box. And that's not really what we're comfortable with doing, because at this point it's kind of like an institution and we don't want to fix what isn't broken. But we'll see. We're going to challenge ourselves. We're going to make a brutal record, and I would like, you know, in a dream world, I would love to work with like a Rick Rubin or somebody like that, but it really just depends, you know. Really, right now it just depends, but we hope, you know, the sky's the limit. We always go into the record like that.
Is it weird for you guys, because you guys toured with Slayer, obviously, and, you know, have done Ozfest and tons of metal tours. You know, you've also done your hardcore tours, but you guys are obviously considered one of the bigger bands in metal in general, you know, because you have a lot of metalhead fans. But is it weird being a hardcore band in, you know, in a metal world, kind of?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I always get letters. It's funny because the fans defend us for years. They always defend us like we have the best supporters. You know, like they make it all worth it, because a lot of times we do get snubbed, like in certain areas, because, you know, you don't really see us on the cover of magazines. We never got like regular video play on any of the networks. We never got like any commercial radio play, but that's because of the way I sing, you know. And you know, even like I just had a letter. It was from a guy in a very big band who was like, man, I was really pissed off that they didn't have you in this best frontman category in this some poll. And I was like, you know, I don't care. And he's like, no, but, you know, I really think it's because, you know, you scream that they didn't have you in this whatever this poll was for like the best metal frontman or something. And I was like, well, you know, I don't worry about it. You know, I just do my thing and I go out, I'm grateful, and I try to be humble and grateful. And he's like, fuck that, you know, you gotta, you know. And he was really complimenting me, and he's in a pretty big band, and I was like, well, thank you, you know, but that's because we never, you know, did the croony.
Were you ever tempted to, though? Or were you ever like, dude, you know, let's just go for it. Let's just write that song. You know, we can write 10 heaters, but one of those songs, you know what I mean? Something that is more palatable.
If you force something, it's like a fart, you know, you're just gonna shit. You know, you can't force it, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm not saying that you should. I'm just wondering if the temptation was, you know, has been there for you guys, you know, because it could obviously take you from a certain level where you're at, which is, you know.
Yeah, you know, and there's always, you know, the money is always very tempting, but, you know, if people knew, I think people would have even more respect for us if they knew the money we've turned down to do certain projects, you know, for, you know, to make songs that were outside the box, whether it was for TV or movies or for soundtracks or whatever. Like, you know, we've stuck to our guns, you know. We say, this is our sound, this is our message, we're sticking to it, you know. So, but people know the deal, people know what we're doing, they know our intentions. And
I think that at this point in your guys' career, I mean, you probably would run the risk of losing more fans than gaining, but it hasn't stopped a lot of bands before. I mean, everybody knows, you know, there's probably a band you can think of off the top of your head that did it from back in the day, you know what I mean? They just went for the whole singing thing. Sometimes it works.
Yes, it's worked like once or twice. And, you know, we've seen a lot of bands, we won't mention any names, but we've seen a lot of bands like pretty much ruin their career by doing that, and, you know, we don't want to do that. And also, like, with Supremacy, we knew we were making a record that was preaching to the converted. We knew that it wasn't going to be a breakout record, that it wasn't going to be, you know, gaining us all sorts of other types of fans. We knew that. We were just more concerned with keeping our foothold on what we, you know, on what we do, and making sure that it was just an intense record that was pummeling from start to finish. And, you know, every night, now we have like 7 or 8 songs from that record in the set. People know the words to every one of those songs, so we did the right thing. Oh, what the fuck is this? Is this the record where you try to be Slipknot, or where you try to be Nickelback, or where you try to be Killswitch Engage? And we're like, and no offense to make it right, I've gotta have my voice be heard.